Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. This is your host Nava. I know it's been a while. I wanted to come back and do commentary on this story. I wanted to do commentary on this story because I live in Oklahoma and this story is coming out of Oklahoma, and I'm born and raised in Oklahoma. So this is the story about a 11-year-old that just gave birth a few days ago, I think. Today is August the 28th, 2025, and this 11-year-old just gave birth to a baby, and I am going to just share the story before I say too much. And ladies, I will be back with my commentary after I share the story, so let's get into it real quick.
They allowed their 11-year-old daughter to give birth at home with absolutely zero medical assistance. You have got to be kidding me. So in Oklahoma, mom and stepfather have been arrested and charged with child neglect after their 11-year-old daughter gave birth this past weekend. This was in Muskogee County. According to reports, Dustin and Cherie Walker are being held on bonds of $100,000 each, and the assistant district attorney believes she will be filing more charges against the couple. Officials are now waiting on the results of the paternity test to determine who the baby's father is. The district attorney reportedly found out about this case when the little girl was taken to the hospital, but that was after she gave birth at home with no medical assistance during her pregnancy, labor, or delivery. Absolutely unreal. That little girl did it alone. She had no one there with her. According to reports, the 11-year-old and 5 other children were eventually removed from the home. The 11-year-old's grandmother has since claimed that the family was not aware that the girl was pregnant. The grandmother further said that people were making her daughter and son-in-law out to be monsters, that they are not, and that they love those children. Now, one of the reasons that those children were removed from their home was because of how horrible the condition of the home was. The grandmother took up for them regarding that as well and said that that was because of pets. I've got 4 pets too, but my house isn't in horrible condition. The grandmother further claimed that her daughter, Sherry, here on the right, has claimed that the father of the 11-year-old daughter's child is a 12-year-old boy. Wow, parents that are 11 and 12, I can't even imagine. Unbelievable. The grandmother said that the kids just got curious. But the district attorney's office has since said that they are skeptical of these claims, including from the couple claiming that they didn't know their child was pregnant. That's because the little girl was very petite and the baby was a normal-sized baby. The DA's office said the girl who gave birth, is now traumatized, and she's been through a horrific ordeal because not only did somebody get her pregnant, but she gave birth at home without medical assistance, and that this will now be her life for the rest of her life. It was further said that no doctors or school officials had seen the child in a while, so they weren't able to report the pregnancy. Now, it was said that the kids were homeschooled, I'm sure they were, but I'd be willing to bet money they didn't send her because she was pregnant. That poor child, I can't even imagine. It is hard enough to give birth as a grown-ass woman. I can't imagine being 12 and all alone with no medical assistance during the process. Prayers go out to that child and her baby. I hope they find out who the father is, and I pray that she wasn't raped by a man or anyone. I mean, it's bad that they were 11 and 12, but it's just a really messed up situation no matter what. For more true crime, be sure to follow and subscribe over on YouTube.
They're saying that she got pregnant when she was 10 years old by her stepfather. Apparently, the DNA test came back, and the stepfather is the dad. Yeah, his name is Dustin Walker, and the mama, Cherie Walker, have both been arrested, and I think they're charged with child neglect. You think? Well, y'all, they did an interview with the grandma over here crying, saying she didn't know that anything was going on. She didn't know that the girl was pregnant, and that when she asked the little girl, about it, the little girl keeps saying that it's some 12-year-old boy that the grandma used to watch, and she thought that they just got curious. I ain't even going to touch on that subject, but I also saw a video where they interviewed the neighbors, and the neighbor has said that she has called on this family multiple times and nothing was done. The house has dog feces all in it. At some point, I guess they don't even have running water. Y'all. And this little girl giving birth at home in those conditions, has not seen a doctor, no pediatrician, no gynecologist, like nothing in a year. 1 year. This little girl has been failed in so many ways. This is just sick. Like, when you don't think it can get any worse, it just keeps coming in. No. I hope these people get what they deserve.
It's hard to do this without feeling very angry. An 11-year-old child in Oklahoma who lived with her 33-year-old mother, a 34-year-old stepfather, and 5 siblings between the ages of 2 and 9. She herself is 11 years old. Just listen to this. She gives birth to a baby all alone without any medical assistance in a house that does not qualify being called a home. It's in an appalling condition, hasn't had any running water for 2 to 3 years. The children are naked, they're not wearing anything. They are surrounded by dog feces. Just imagine. The child is traumatized. The parents deny knowing that she was pregnant. They also deny knowing who the father is. The grandmother strongly protects the parents, states that the baby's father is a 12-year-old because the young child has told her that. She insists that these parents are not monsters as they're being made out to be, and they love all their children. Once the police get involved and start their investigation, they do a DNA test, and the result comes out to confirm that the stepfather is the biological father of this child. So now he's also going to be charged with sexual abuse of this child. The other children have been removed, and the mother is also charged with enabling abuse. Both the parents are being held on a bond of $100,000 each and will be appearing in court on the 3rd of September. Just imagine the absolutely horrific nature of this crime and the level of abuse that those children would have been going through. They have all been removed from the family, thankfully, but where are the failings here? Were they ever under the radar of child protection? How did they get away with it? It's inhumane, barbaric.
So I know, y'all, that is people out here that want to say it's men. It's the men are the problem. Men are the problem. And nobody wants to put any blame on the women. In this situation, this woman, this mother, she knew. Y'all cannot tell me that she did not know that this man was messing with her daughter. That this man is probably messing with her other young girls that are in the house. They don't say, I haven't heard how many girls are in the house, but I'm pretty sure he's messing with the other girls that are in the house. This grandmother, I'm going to say the grandmother, I'm going to give her a little bit of grace because she's not in the house. She may just be stupid and ignorant, but this mother, she was in the house. This mother knew. This mother heard stuff. This mother saw stuff, and she knew. So I hear a lot of people say that animals are dumb and they don't know better, and that humans are like the superior race, and men are supposed to be protectors of women and girls, and mothers are supposed to be protectors of their cubs and their children. But this mother didn't protect her cub. She didn't protect these children. She had them living in these conditions. None of the men around this little girl, the neighbors, when she was in school, none of the men, none of the women in this girl's life protected this girl. Nobody. Everybody failed this girl. Everybody failed the 5 children that were in this house. So who is supposed to protect all of the children that are being born in this world? All of the children that are being taken out and impregnated by grown men in this world. All of the children that the government is wanting women to keep having that are not protected? Who is supposed to protect them? Like women have lost their minds behind these men. Y'all, that is why I haven't made videos lately, because I'm still seeing women in the comments that are just crazy and saying, I need my man. I can't go without a man. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Y'all are crazy. I just got to have me a man. Like, women are just windmilling. Like, I see women just fighting and just going against other women content creators and just fighting against other creators. Like, y'all, like Princella, women, oh, she's changed her message. She hates women. She's going against women, and because what she said against Cassie, and Cassie wasn't a victim, and just all of this, just turning against women. And I see that, and I'm just like, but none of y'all can just point out what Princella is saying that is a lie. Like, what is, y'all are pointing out, oh, Princella, she's like a stud. She's going full red pill. Like, what is she saying that's red pill? Like, please get in the comments and tell me, what is she saying that's red pill? I may respond to you. I may not. I may just delete your comment. I may respond if I feel like it. I may not, because that's just what I do. But what is she saying that is red pill? Because when I listen to Princella, all I hear is the truth. And y'all know I'm married. I've been married for 19 years. I've been with my husband for 24 years, 25 years. And I agree with everything that Princella is saying. So y'all, please believe. Please believe me when I say I'm different. I'm really different. I am a married woman with 2 boys, 2 sons. So I'm the only woman in my house with 3 males. And I agree with Princella on 99% of the time. I'm not going to say 100, because I leave room for human error. I'm not going to say 100% because she's human and I'm human. So I leave room for error. So I'm not going to say everything she says is right, but I agree with her on most stuff, and I will never turn my back on another woman that is speaking truth. I'm not going to turn my back on her because she dresses y'all think she dresses like a man. Y'all think that she dresses masculine. Who says that wearing pants or a hat is masculine? Who made that up? Who made that rule? She can wear a damn hat if she wants to. I wear hats. I'm a woman, and I wear hats if I want to. I wear pants if I want to. If I don't want to wear makeup, if I want to wear cornrows, I'm going to wear them. That doesn't mean that I'm like a stud. If she doesn't want to wear makeup, if she wants to wear a hat and cornrows, that doesn't make her a stud. I know some of y'all believe that. I know. I've heard Cynthia G say that. I love Cynthia G. I love Princella, even though I'm a Virgo, and I know Cynthia is a Leo and she doesn't really care for Virgos. I love both of them. I agree with a lot of their talking points, but I think Cynthia, she still wants to deal with men in some capacity, and that's on her. She's just going to have to live and learn. She's still not there yet, and that's okay with me, because she has to walk her own path. Princella, I still rock with Princella. It's I rock with her. I'm for women. Because of stuff like this, stories like this. Y'all, I'm just rambling right now because I have been gone for a while. But let's get back into the rest of this commentary, and I will be right back.
The update from the case from Muskogee, Oklahoma, where the 34-year-old man, Dustin Walker, impregnated his 11-year-old stepdaughter. Well, his wife, Cherry, who's also sitting in jail for enabling the abuse and 6 other counts of felony child neglect, she's also pregnant. 35 weeks pregnant. And it's presumed that the girl was 36 weeks pregnant when she delivered the baby. Cherry supposedly helped her deliver at home, and they had to call 911 because, of course, an 11-year-old is going to have complications giving birth. So 911 came, they cut the cord, they took them to the hospital. Mom's 35 weeks pregnant, and her daughter just gave birth at 36 weeks. What happens to that baby? Cherry's sitting in jail where she belongs. But what happens to that baby born into foster care? It's so sad. But notice how my jaw stayed in place. Not even
Not even surprising
Well,
anymore.
she wound up having this baby full term. The baby was healthy and everything went smoothly. However, she wound up giving birth at home, and her mother, Sherry Walker, was the one that delivered the baby. Now, police somehow got wind of the situation and what exactly happened and went to go investigate. And that's when they went and arrested both of the parents, and they were initially charged with felony child neglect. Now, luckily, this baby was born happy and healthy and full term, even though the mother had never had any medical care during her entire pregnancy. Now, police wound up performing a DNA test, and when those results came back, they determined that the baby's paternity, as it turns out, was that the father is Dustin Walker, the child's stepfather. So on Monday, the Muskogee County prosecuting attorney in Muskogee, Oklahoma, wound up amending those charges against the parents. Now they have added enabling child sexual abuse for the mother, Sherry, and also sexually abusing a minor for Dustin. Now the couple also was charged with 6 counts of felony child neglect, including failing to provide the 11-year-old with medical care during her entire pregnancy and any supervision while she gave birth. And the killer of all this is that the parents are being held only on a $100,000 bond.
I want y'all to think about this. Only on a $100,000 bond. This man impregnating this baby at 10 years old could be considered attempted murder, because at 10 years old, this baby is not fully formed enough to push another human being the size of a small watermelon out of a hole that is the size of a small, like, not even, you can't even say a plum. At the age of 10, I don't know what the size of a 10-year-old's, y'all know what I'm saying. This could be considered attempted murder, because at the age of 10, like, giving birth to a child, another human being could kill you. So this could be and should be considered attempted murder if you get a 10-year-old pregnant. A 10-year-old is not supposed to be giving birth to another human. Period.
Now, the prosecutor in this case, who is Assistant District Attorney Jana Hudson, had this to say. She said, quote, this is one of the most, if not the most, serious child sexual abuse and neglect cases I've ever prosecuted. Now, the count of felony child neglect that they wound up attacking on came after the police wound up investigating the living conditions of the children. Now, the children are 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9 years old, and police say that they were living in absolute filth. They had no clothing, there was hardly any food in the house, and the house was completely covered in dog feces and garbage. And this is what these poor children were living in. Needless to say, they were removed and put into protective custody as of Tuesday. Now, Sherry Walker's mother, whose name is Michelle, wound up giving an interview to a local news channel in Oklahoma called KJRH, and she said that she does not believe what police are saying and does not believe that Dustin Walker is the father of that baby, even though they have DNA evidence proving it. Michelle went on to tell a reporter that she said, quote, "They've made my daughter and son-in-law into a monster. They are not. They love those children. They love them," end quote. The grandmother also claimed that the little girl had told people that the father of the baby was a 12-year-old neighbor boy. So here's my thought process on that. Of course, a 11-year-old little girl is not going to tell who the real father is when come to find out that the real father is her stepfather. She probably was scared that if she told the truth that there's going to be some type of repercussion.
I really wish women would start to think. Y'all keep saying that we are like the intelligent beings and that we're smarter than animals. Yes, she was scared, but she wasn't scared enough to come up with this lie on her own. He threatened her and he told her to tell this story to people if they asked. He told her to tell this story or he would hurt her or her mother or her siblings. This is what they do when they do stuff like this. They threaten the babies and they tell them, if you tell what happened, I will hurt you or your siblings or your mother. You say this. You tell this story that I tell you to tell them if they ask you what happened. And he might have even got her mother to say the same thing. I wish adults would use their brains. The grandmother is not using her brain. The adults usually are not using their brains in this situation. The little girl was coached into saying that it was a 12-year-old boy. She's not old enough at a 10 and 11 years old to say that it wasn't him. Her brain is not developed enough to lie and to say that it was a 12-year-old boy. Somebody in that house, the predator, had to tell her to say it was a 12-year-old boy. This is why women do not need to be with men if you cannot think for yourself.
And especially because now we know that the mother was fully involved in this and knew exactly what was going on. She hid the fact, she hid everything that went on, and she even helped deliver her own grandbaby. And in my personal opinion, when the grandmother Michelle is saying that they're making out her daughter and son-in-law to be monsters and that they love those children, what kind of love is letting children live like that in complete and absolute filth, and then letting your stepfather abuse your own children? That is not love, ma'am. That is not love. Have you guys heard about this case, and what is your thoughts and processes on it? 11 years old. These poor children. I thank God that they got the children out, the younger ones now, and hopefully they'll be put into a better situation. But this poor 11-year-old is going to have to deal with this for the rest of her life, and I cannot even imagine how much time and therapy is going to take to make this poor little girl even halfway heal. I don't know.
Sadly, y'all, the foster system is no better. Sadly, the foster system that we have here in America and probably globally, these kids are being trafficked, sex trafficked, and in these foster homes, the same thing is happening to them. When they get 18, they're having to go into the streets and sell themselves, and their foster parents are abusing them and doing the same thing. This is why women need to stop having kids. I say women need to stop having kids for at least a decade, because the way this system is set up, the patriarchy, the way everything is right now in America, this is happening far too often, and nobody is protecting these kids. They're not protecting the boys. Nobody's protecting the girls, because these stories are happening far too much, and the foster care system doesn't care about these kids, and it's no better. Like, it's not going to get better for the siblings or this little girl or that baby that was just born that's going to be into foster care. Like, chances are the baby's going to be put into a home that a woman has a man, and 9 times out of 10, the man that is in that home is going to be the same exact way that her stepfather was, or even worse. So y'all just stop having kids right now. A lot of women are catching on. If y'all follow me, share these videos. Y'all look at some of the women that I share on my channel. There's so many stories like this. Just keep sharing these videos before Trump comes for social media. He's going to try to silence us as women. He's coming next. He's coming for our voices. He's coming for our bodies. I've been shadow banned for years. I've been on YouTube for at least 3 years, and I know I don't make videos as often as I should. I only have 1,600 subscribers, but I'm going to start making videos. I don't care how many subscribers I have, but share these videos. Let's get back into it.
Initially, they claimed that a 12-year-old boy was the father. I assumed to try to stave off the authorities, but they weren't. They weren't buying it. The lie detector test determined that was a lie, because last week the parents were finally arrested and charged with 1 count of felony child neglect prior to getting the entire story straight. The charges were then amended on Monday after a DNA test finally came back and concluded the 12-year-old boy was not the father. And in fact, guess who? The sick, sadistic piece of shit stepfather was the dad. And then on top of that, the mother was also charged with enabling child sex abuse. Assistant DA Janet Hudson said it's one of the most serious child SA abuse cases she's ever prosecuted. And even more behind the story that isn't represented here by the current charges, but there's no way that this was a one-time occurrence. You know what I mean? That piece of shit had to have been doing stuff like that for a long time prior to impregnating that 11-year-old girl. There were also 5 other children at the home who were removed due to, quote, deplorable living conditions, which included dog feces all over the house. And also the children had no clothes on. So this is currently ongoing. I believe September 3rd is the first court date. They are being held on $100,000 bond. And we're going to try to keep up with this, but this is the kind of shit going on in our country. So now you know.
That you allowed the man that you said, I said I do, and you allowed him to be doing this to your child? My heart goes out to this baby that is 11 years old. They have not given an update on her, so I'm not sure if she's with the grandmother, Michelle, or if she's in the system or what. I'm not sure of that status at this time. Please keep that little 11-year-old in your thoughts and prayers. She does have other additional siblings. I'm not sure if she's the oldest or if she's in the midst of the age group of the other children. I'm not sure. But just keep them in your thoughts at this time as they are trying to process what the heck is going on. Because this is a lot for children. This is a lot going on for children. Both your parents are taken into custody. You don't know what's going on with that. And then your sister done had a baby that was 11 years old, and she was getting abused by the stepfather, and you probably heard something and didn't know what you was hearing. So this is a lot on children. So just keep them in your thoughts at this time. If you put your bet on him, it was accurate. He the pappy. He the doggone pappy. Just nasty.
Sherry, the girl's mom, is the one who delivered the baby. But Sherry, too, is pregnant, 35 weeks along, with her 7th child. And obviously her husband is the father of that baby, who is also the father of the 11-year-old's baby. So you have that whole thing. Then a lot of you guys have been wondering, how did they get caught? Because remember, they pulled her out of school for a year. She hadn't been to any doctors. Well, apparently after the baby was born, they had to call 911 because I'm sure we can guess why an 11-year-old isn't big enough to be giving birth. She's a small child. So they came. They're the ones that ultimately cut the cord, took her back to the hospital. And while she was there, it sounds like they didn't believe the story about some 12-year-old either. So they did a DNA test on her. And it turns out that that's how they found out the stepdad was the dad of this baby. Now, I also know that a lot of you guys have been asking about the kids. How are they doing? Well, here's what I can tell you, and this is all I know. It's not very much, because when we're talking about minors, that stuff doesn't really get put out there. They have been removed from the home. We know that that's been publicly reported. They aren't together because, unfortunately, there's so many of them. That's not necessarily a bad thing. They are safe. It's not necessarily a bad thing because that means they probably have the easier ability to get some one-on-one trauma counseling. There are also 2 younger girls in the home, younger than the 11-year-old. And so we're all just hoping and basically praying that they weren't victims of this same abuse like their sister was. That being said, once we have more information, I'll be back to give you guys another update. But this was pretty big, pretty mind-blowing, so I wanted to come on and give you guys this update. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and of course, hit that follow button so you don't miss any of these updates.
Her 11-year-old daughter delivered a full-term baby, unmedicated, alone in their home, and the mother and stepfather claimed that they had no idea she was pregnant. This is Cherry and Dustin Walker, and they're not the only ones in jail right now. Dustin's brother Alan is also in jail for an essay that occurred last November. So allegedly, the 11-year-old was not taken to the hospital until after they delivered this baby. She is a baby herself, and doctors obviously had many questions, so the police come and they get involved, and they also don't seem to believe the parents' story that they had no idea. So the cops start investigating further. There's 5 other children in the home, multiple pets. The house was left in deplorable conditions. They allegedly had no running water for 2 to 3 years. The place was completely trashed, and also the police found out that conveniently the child was being homeschooled during all of this. So the grandma defended the state of the home, saying, well, they have pets. She also claims that the father is a 12-year-old. However, police say that when they get this DNA back, they expect to add additional charges. Grandma said that both of them just love their kids so much. Now, like I said, Dustin's brother Alan, he's also in jail right now. In November 2024, a tip was called in that Allen had SA'd a minor under the age of 12 years old. He was booked in jail, given bond somehow. He fled the state. They brought him back to Oklahoma. And then he attempted to reconnect with the victim, which was a violation of his bond. So they took his bond away, and now he's back in jail. Sounds like to me that 3 people are exactly where they should be, in my opinion. As of now, all of the children have been removed from the home. I have no idea how the 11-year-old's doing. It was said that she's traumatized, and I can imagine so. Anyone who's ever had a baby unmedicated, can you imagine being a child going through that by yourself? I also hope they took the pets out of this home too. I will give an update when we get the DNA test results back. And if I can find a way to help the 11-year-old while keeping her anonymous, I will let you guys know, because she's going to need all the support.
5 other children aged 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9, whom I pray are not female, were removed from the home after police say they were living in deplorable conditions, running around a home filled with dog feces, and according to the police statement, had no clothing on when they arrived to rescue them. And to the grandmother who swore those parents loved and cared for those kids and would never harm them, shame on you, because who knows how many times your words were the reason that help was delayed.
You are so far gone that you forced an 11-year-old to carry a baby full term and then force them to give birth at home at 11 years old. And it's her dad's DNA. This is fucking disgusting. And all of you people who are saying that life is life, starts at conception, abortion is murder, go fuck yourself. Abortion is healthcare. You have just traumatized this fucking 11-year-old. You have traumatized her past any point any fucking human should ever have to endure. You cannot fucking defend this. This is vile. This is disgusting. This is Trump level shit. This is Epstein level shit. This is Diddy level shit. This is worse than all of those because you made a fucking 11-year-old carry a baby to full fucking term. Let that fucking sink in. And the dad? Oh, you're not gonna make it in fucking jail. No matter where you fucking go, you will be hunted the fuck down. You are disgusting.
So supposedly, everyone was taken up for the mother and father, saying they didn't know anything. The grandmother said that you can't blame the mother and father. And the 11-year-old girl initially said that the father is a 12-year-old boy who the grandmother was keeping, because apparently the grandmother was babysitting the 11-year-old girl for a while, and she was also keeping a 12-year-old boy. So the girl was saying, or is saying, that the father is a 12-year-old boy. Well, of course, let's be real, folk. We ain't stupid, and we know it sounds suspicious. So now the prosecutors, whatever they call the Child Protective Service down there, is finally involved. Oh, and by the way, there's about 6 other kids in the house. So CPS got involved. Prosecutors are now involved. They've done a DNA test, and folk, hold on, guess what? And it probably should not come as much of a surprise to you. The father is not the 12-year-old boy. The father is her father, Dustin Walker, age 34. Lord Jesus. Folk, whether he's a stepfather or real father, Lord Jesus Christ. Folk, this is like so crazy to even hear. I really thought those stories were way behind us in the past. But again, some things just haven't changed. So, folk, have you heard about this crazy situation
The God-fearing father of 6, whose 11-year-old daughter just gave birth at home, explain to me why you were so shocked when they asked for your DNA. And it's been 2 days and the results are in, and come to find out, you are the father of your 11-year-old daughter's child that she just had to give birth at home because y'all wouldn't bring her to the hospital. Explain to me that. And I also want to know why people are defending the mother of this 11-year-old. Oh, because she's pregnant and is like a month behind her 11-year-old daughter in delivery and she's about to give birth to her 7th child. Why do we feel bad for her? Because it is very clear that this man was doing whatever he wanted to whomever he wanted and didn't even wear protection because he really was sure he was never going to get caught until his oldest of his 6 currently living children who are out of the womb got pregnant with his child. And the neighbor was the one who was calling, not just because the kids and the animals, but like the entire situation she was concerned about. And no one actually intervened until the parents had to call 911 because they thought the 11-year-old was not going to survive delivering that child at home. Even the grandmother has said this doesn't make any sense. They're trying to make my daughter and son-in-law into monsters, and she has her own theories on who the father is, even though the DNA tests are conclusive. He is 99.9% the biological father of his 11-year-old daughter's child. She doesn't believe it. She thinks there's other things that are going on here. The fact that she lives across the street from this, and they were saying these kids, these 6 kids, the 11-year-old was the oldest, all the other ones didn't have clothes. They didn't have clothes. The house was full of animal feces. What is your excuse? Did you never go into your daughter's house? Did you never see the state of those kids? For the last year that child has been pregnant, were you unaware that 11-year-old was pregnant? Also going to say you cannot defend anyone, even the grandmother, because no one ever sought medical care for this 11-year-old. Not only did they not ever bring her to the doctor to be checked out while she was pregnant, they pulled her from school so that not even the school authorities could intervene on behalf of this child. It is the most egregious thing to witness. And the fact that this man had the audacity to be shocked, why do you want mine?
Okay, ladies. So what I want to say before I get out of here is that if you don't have kids, or if you don't have kids, if you can't have kids, don't feel bad, y'all. If you don't have kids, please listen to videos like this. Please scroll my page and look at all the videos of all the other women's pages that I post and listen to their videos before you have kids. And please follow them and listen to them. Do not have kids at all. I'm not going to even say unless. I'm going to tell you, do not have kids in the next decade. That's it. In the United States, do not have kids in the next decade. These kids are not protected by anybody. If you get with a man and he does something like this to your kids will probably be taken from you, first of all, because you were in the house and you allowed this and it happened under your nose. Most of the time, whether you knew it or not, your kids are going to be taken from you because it's no way you should be in a house with your kids and this is happening and you don't know about it as their mother. There's no way that this should be allowed to happen as a mother under your roof. This should be happening with your kids. So they should be taken from you if you are allowing a man in your house to do this to your kids, a boy or girl. They should be taken. But the sad thing is, once they are taken, they're put into a system where other people can do this to them. Like other men, and occasionally some women will do stuff like this too. But the women aren't going to get them pregnant, but they're also abused by women. They could be abused physically or sexually by women also. You know, it's not as often the sexual part, but physically women do abuse children. But they do it sexually too, but not as often as men. So, ladies, what I'm going to say is if you don't have kids right now in America, there's so many reasons not to have kids. Not only are we under a dictatorship right now with the presidency, My videos are being shadow banned. I'm not putting out a lot right now. I'm going to try to put out more. I've been saying that, but I have so much going on in my everyday life. I'm trying to get my spinach and artichoke dip on the shelves. I'm going through personal stuff in my life, y'all. So y'all, if y'all could share these videos, please. Y'all know I've been getting shadow banned for at least 2 or 3 years now, and my videos are just not just doing what they should be doing. But that's fine. If even 1 or 2 people sees my videos, that's fine. But y'all just follow the other women that I post, because thousands of women are seeing their videos, and I'm so happy that they are. I'm so happy about that. But yeah, the next decade, ladies, if you're in your 20s and you think that your biological clock is running out and you just have to have a baby, you don't have to have a baby in your 20s. You do not. You can have a baby in your 40s and you're fine. Like, even if you're 30, wait at least another 10 years right now. If you're 30, wait 10 years to have another baby. Wait until you're 40. Ebony K. Williams, if you don't know who she is, Google her. Janet Jackson, Halle Berry, a lot of celebrity women, a lot of beautiful women have had babies, healthy babies in their 40s. Men don't like to think that their babies come out like unhealthy because of them. But a lot of the times when you have a miscarriage or a baby has issues, a lot of the time is because of the men that you choose to procreate with. If they're unhealthy, or if they have, if they drink alcohol, if they don't eat healthy, they don't take care of their body, they smoke, if they're just, their sperm is just, their quality is just raggedy. But y'all really have to stop. It's so many more women in this world that are out here just so bothered by not having a man that they're just blinded by what these men are actually doing to their children, that they're just messing up the lives of their children, and they're messing up their own lives. Because if you're so blind by just dick, that you're just so worried about just sex and love, that you're just so blinded by it, you're going to mess up the lives of your children. You're going to mess up your own life. Because when men do stuff like this, not only do you mess up your children's lives, you mess up your life, because you end up in prison. So your life is gone. That man is in jail. Your kids are in another hell. So your life, like, your kids just are born into hell. Just because you wanted a man, your kids are born into a complete hell. So ladies, please just stop thinking that just because we've been taught that you just need a man to survive. A man is not part of like the things that we need to just live. You need air, you need food, you need water, and you need shelter to survive. You need other women, you need community to survive. But you need women who are not so male-centered and just think that they need men to survive. You need women like that in order to survive. You don't need that. Like, you don't need men. Like, so I'm going to stop running my mouth and get out of here. I will start posting more videos, but until then, y'all, just please enjoy the ladies that I'm sharing with you on my channel. Please share my videos, y'all. Please. I have posted videos. I haven't posted in like maybe 2 months, but go way back, and y'all will see videos where I have posted my own videos and my own content. And please go back and watch those and share. And thank you for watching this video. And I will talk to you ladies later. Bye.